at Southside here in Stevenage, where I'm joined by the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase, and Mad Man Manson. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you, man?
Very well, thank you, very well. So you're here, you get to choose either to manage the star attraction Mark Haskins or the show stealer Nathan Cruz. Any thoughts on who you're going to choose tonight?
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Flip a coin. Flip a dollar. Flip a dollar.
Yeah.
Just float away in the wind, though. It's no good. You know, you're better off managing
Well,
me.
you know, we actually have coin dollar bills now too.
Really?
Yeah, they're not worth a quarter though.
Oh, he's good. Hey, leave the comedy to me.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Not as much as you.
Okay.
Oh, we should do a swap. You do my stuff, I'll get paid your stuff. Come on. No, it never works that way, does it? I know.
Everybody's got a price up.
Mine's a fiver.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, but no, I think I'll go with the star attraction.
Excellent. So how are you enjoying it here at Southside as well? How are you enjoying it here in the UK and meeting talent such as Mad Man Manson?
Well, I love the UK. You know, any chance I get to come back, I do. I've got a lot of friends here. Actually, we're only about, aren't we only about 40 miles from London right now?
About that.
Yeah, I've got a real good friend in London. As a matter of fact, if I'd have known I was going to be this close, I'd have let him know I was going to be here. But as far as this guy, nah.
When he said the word talent, I was like, who? Who's this they're talking about?
No.
Mark Haskins, there's talent.
Seriously, last night I was in his corner, and I couldn't keep a straight face. I literally, they had me going, and they really entertained the crowd. It was really good. It really was.
Thanks. Anything we can expect from you tonight? Any secrets you've got for us? Anything we can expect your appearance at Southside before you go out there?
Well, you know, with $1 Million Man, you never know when I'm going to throw some money around.
Manson, anything we can expect from you? Do you even know yet?
You can expect the same thing you get from me every time. Absolute nonsense, no work ethic, no bumps, no moving around quickly because I can't do any of that stuff. But hopefully some children will have a smile on their face, and that's all you can get from me. It's all I can do. There's only a certain level that I can do. It's right about here. You know, you got guys like T-Bone up there, guys like Mark Haskins up there, guys like this up there. I'm around here. I'm a nice middle guy sort of thing. So that's what you can expect from me, grabbing people's nipples, making people laugh. What else can I do?
Then back to ringside.
Grabbing people's nipples.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's extra price.
So hard to keep a straight face.
How do you think this should happen?
It should have been through there, man. It's just...
There's more money in that shit than wrestling. You know what I mean? I'm at a different...
Got a point there.
My fucking indie level is bad. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, that other work though, that, you know, that's
Yeah.
Messy.
Messy is the word. Yeah.
cut. Do it over. But you know, the porn industry really took off once the Viagra and stuff came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really took off. That's a good really took off. You know what I mean? Get out. Yeah, that's the word I'd go for.
It was so funny last night because he finally gets $1 Million Dream. What was the guy's name?
Dave Mastiff.
Dave. Yeah. I don't know if Dave was so. I don't know if he was so thrilled about the match.
No, he was happy. He was
Wasn't
happy.
that
See,
good?
the thing about him is he's an extremely good wrestler.
Yeah.
But when he's in with me, he has to come down to my level. you know what I mean? Like Dave Mastiff can do it all. Like he really can do it all. But I kind of bring people down.
Manson's wrestled the very best and won them all.
Yeah, probably.
Every single one of them has been brought down to his level.
And they had said it. Somebody had said they were gonna, and I just forgot. And so he gets him in the $1 Million Dream, and all of a sudden this music started. It's like, rock-a-bye, babe. like he's in the $1 Million Dream, and put him to sleep. You know, in the treetop. Oh my God! I was like, oh my gosh.
It worked.
Yeah, he went right out.
Yeah. I need to sleep in the van on the way home as well, so it really did work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Would you believe during the day he's a teacher?
Is that right?
He's a teacher.
Yeah, well,
primary
you know,
school teacher.
Georgie Animal Steel.
Really?
Yeah, Georgie Animal Steel. was a teacher and a coach, and then in the summers he became.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No way. Isn't it funny when on the indie level, the other jobs that people have, you'd never guess what they do. You'd never know. For example, try and guess what I do. I'm no longer full time in wrestling. I have a real life job. See if you can guess what I do. It's not porn. Alright. I'm not a male model either. I know that's what you're thinking. I'm not a male model.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
No, I think you were thinking that. The back of your mind.
Yeah.
Far back.
You're a chef.
Oh no, I can't cook for shit. A warehouse manager. That's what I do. Full of dangerous chemicals. That's what I work with every day. So
explains
someone
a lot.
trusts this person to work with dangerous chemicals. You know what I mean?
Well, you're around dangerous chemicals, sniffing fumes all the time. That explains a lot.
Yeah, seriously. By Friday night, I'm fucking gone. Paint thinners and shit. Yeah. It's true. Every Friday, I mix paint all day.
This is the best moment of my life.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's funny to be a full-time guy on the European independent scene is real difficult. There's really few full-time guys that.
Well, it's real hard. It's because whenever guys come to me now and they have a passion for the business, it's almost like my heart goes out to them because I realized the passion I had when I was a kid. I grew up in the business, and that's like because people always ask me why I have such a hard on, so to speak, for the Ultimate Warrior, and I said because he's a guy who was given a lot in our business, but didn't respect it. He never. It was kind of like he came in and he was a user and abuser. It was like he didn't care about anybody. I mean, the guy used to be this guy was like a licensed chiropractor.
Really?
Yeah, and he's not a dummy.
Yeah.
Little warped.
That's a good job. That's money job.
But now here's a guy. He's a licensed chiropractor, so he's in the wrestling business, and I remember asking him to adjust me a couple times. And this was before he was the Warrior. This was way back when him and actually Sting, they came into Mid-South, and I can't remember what they called them.
Blade Runners.
Blade Runners, that's right, thank you. And it was almost like he did it, but it was almost like, gosh, do I have to do this,
Yeah. It was,
Like, I don't want this to become a habit.
yeah.
I mean, just
help someone out. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just not that at all. And his he had good charisma and a great body, but he couldn't wrestle. He could not wrestle a lick, and unless somebody led him every step of the way, I mean, it's like, what do you remember about the Warrior? Running down to the ring, shaking the ropes, and doing the crisscross. That's it. That's all he could do.
Does it matter?
Huh?
Does it matter?
Are you biased
No,
there,
well,
But you know what I mean? Like, is it important that a guy at the top should be able to wrestle, or is it more important to be able to showman?
Well, no, obviously, I said, his gifting was that he had the charisma. But again, even with that charisma, he had to have somebody in the ring that could lead him to get a match over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay because there were a lot of guys like one of my best buddies was Junkyard Dog, and back in Mid-South, long before he went to the WWF. And JYD was not a good wrestler, but oh my gosh, he was great on the microphone. He had such charisma, but he knew it and he listened. But the thing is, he appreciated it.
Oh, okay.
And that's the whole problem with the guy is that so many people helped him, and he's never appreciated. It's like, screw you.
Yeah.
That's his attitude.
Okay.
I mean, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but it was at the Garden, and he's the main event. You guys heard that story? I mean, he was going to, he went to Vince and said, unless you give me this much more money, I'm not going out there.
SummerSlam 92.
I would say 92. Yeah, it was a 3-on-2 match, and he basically said, "I'm not going to go out there."
And so Vince had to do it because number one, if he doesn't, then his new star is not as a no-show, and he's got to give all that money back to the pay-per-view and the whole thing. But but when Warrior steps out and does like that, he's not just screwing Vince; he's screwing all of us. He didn't care.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with him, and my attitude towards him is that he has no respect, just none. And I grew up in this business, loving this business, and an unbelievable respect for it. And he just shits on that all the time. So that's my problem with him.
Is there a case to be made to say that everyone's independent and should be looking out for themselves, or should everyone be working for the company and trying to make something better?
There's a difference between. I mean, you've always got to look out for yourself. I mean, you have to. In any business, you got to look out for yourself. But it's kind of like you take a guy like Terry Funk, and I learned a lot from him. And I was the same kind of guy. I mean, if you went and talked to Bill Watts, who and I spent the first 12 years of my, not totally, but most of the out of the first 12 years of my career before I went to be the $1 billion man, I worked for Bill. I worked in Kansas City for maybe a year, and I went to Georgia twice, and in Amarillo, Texas. But I spent most of my time with Watts because he was so good. And the thing about it is, and he would tell you this, he said, I was like the catalyst. In other words, Bill knew that he could put me in the ring with anybody he wanted to, and I had the ability to do what was right with the business, and at the same time, protect myself. In other words, there's a way to go out there and get beat and still be over.
Yeah.
And so you do have to look out for yourself, but not at everybody else's expense.
Yeah.
And Terry went to Japan. And, I mean, and I think, me and Tommy were talking about, at ECW. There were times when they were telling Terry they wanted to put him over something. He says, no. He says, here's what's going to help your business go. He says, here's what you need to do. He says, let's do this. I don't win, but don't worry about it because I'll take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because he knew how to do it. And so, you got to take care of yourself. But at the same time, we're in this together.
Yeah. I got it.
But today it's hard. It's so hard because, I grew up in a business where there were, 13 or 14 territories all over the United States, and you worked every night. You go to a territory, and virtually every night, or at least 6 nights a week. Day off was when you worked in your home where you happened to be staying.
Yeah.
It was
right.
It was a circuit, same towns every week. But doing that, you were in the ring every night, and it's like I started in the summer of '75, and I had the opportunity to see so much great talent, and I studied them, and I picked moves. I mean, like everybody talks about the fist drop. I got that from Dick Murdoch,
Right.
and he did it better than me. You take moves that you see other people do, and you vary it, you make it your own, and you develop a repertoire, and you get comfortable, and it's almost like you build a character over a period of time.
Yeah.
But it's almost impossible to do now because, it's like there aren't any territories. There's no place to go where you can wrestle every night
Yeah. and
make a living. So it's very hard. And it puts the guys at a disadvantage, and that's why, as much as I tell guys, sitting down with your opponent and diagramming the match from bell to bell is not wrestling. It's not. I said that's, wrestling is having the ability to go out there and know the finish and call the match on the fly and do it and know the psychology of the business well enough to listen to the people. And I remember the first time, I remember the first one of the trips I made with Funk and Murdoch when I was still in college, and I started asking them a bunch of questions on the way back. It was about 100 miles. We were on the way back drinking a beer, and I kept saying, well, why did you do this and why did you do that? And they both told me, they said, look, we can't tell you. I mean, we can't tell you why because we don't know. In other words, he says, once you've wrestled long enough, you'll develop an ear for the crowd, and you'll just instinctively know it's time to do something.
Right. It felt like the right thing to do.
And it's like,